I always wanted to believe in the back of my head if I ever got cheated on, I would handle the situation maturely. Like, my friend asked me, "What would you do if you ever got cheated on?" I said, "Oh, I'm gonna take the high road. I'm not gonna cuss him out, get mad, or call him names. I'm gonna just pick my stuff up and I'm gonna just leave." That's not what I did though. When I actually got in a situation too, I didn't do none of that. I took the lowest road I could possibly take. I guess you could call it crashing out. Now, I had little boyfriends and stuff in middle school. I wasn't taking none of them serious though. It wasn't till I got into high school I got my very first real boyfriend that I was taking serious. And he played basketball, but he played it at another school. I said, "I'm gonna go surprise him." Yeah, so I went and I got a tri-board poster board and I put his numbers on it and everything. And I said, "I'm finna take my ass up here to this game to support." I remember getting to the game and I was like, damn, he missing the hell out of them free throws. So I'm holding my poster in the air and this girl go, "Let's go number to 23. I said, and I see a girl up there, she holding up a poster that say 23 too. So I hollered up there at her. I said, "I think you meant to put 32, you know. You put 23 on there." She said, "No, it's 23. You got it backwards." I said, "No, I don't, bitch." She said, "That's my boyfriend." I said, "For how long?" She said, "2 months." I said, "Oh, girl, please." She said, "How long you and him been dating?" I said, 7 months. She said, "Oh, well, he asked me to the prom." I said, "I hope both of y'all wither." She said, "You hope we what?" I said, "I hope y'all asses wither." That's what I said. I got that poster board I had and I started ripping it apart, but it didn't rip in half all the way because it was cardboard. So I had to step on it a little bit. Like, I put it on the ground and I stomped on it and I had to twist it up. And on my way walking out, I threw the poster board into the middle of the court. I knew people was sneezing, but I didn't, correlate it to the glitter that was in the air. The ref blew his whistle. He said, "You come pick that up." I said, "I got one better. You want to hear it?" He said, "No." I said, "This whole school can kiss my ass." My ex came up to me. He said, "I didn't know you was coming." I said, "I didn't know you was coming. You would know what the fuck you was in here doing, missing them free throws, bitch. And you should be taking her to the prom, 'cause y'all look like a match made in hell." I looked at him. I said, "You suck, bitch, having the nerve to pick the fucking number 23. You don't deserve no fucking 23. You don't even deserve the numbers next to 23. 22 and 24 should never be no option for you. You pathetic. Say he picked number fucking 23. Bitch, please, wake up and smell the roses." I said, "I came to support you and this is what I met with." I said, "Who was that up there?" He said, "Who? Who? Who?" I said, "Who? Who? 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 This is like a fucking owl sanctuary. And bitch, do it look like I live in the trees? All that who shit? Gotta go. Don't play with me. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm talking about that girl you got sitting up there looking like a fucking scarecrow." The coach said, "Time out." I said, "Time in." The girl stood up. She said, "Who are you calling a scarecrow?" I said, "Sit your ass back down, bitch." At this point, the whole people in the bleachers, they was laughing, but I had tunnel vision. I didn't know until I reflected back later on. Then the coach from the other team said, "We need to get her out of here." I said, "Get me out? I don't want to be here anyways." I said, "Fuck this game. Fuck everybody came with. Fuck the mascot and his missing left eye. Cheerleaders got no team spirit. I'm sitting over here bored. Are we cheerleaders or are we just waking up from a nap? Fuck that raggedy ass basketball net y'all got finna slide off the fucking hoop. The bleachers caving in from centuries of neglect. The school old and raggedy. It looked like Amelia Earhart built it. And that's sad cause she missing cause y'all cheap and y'all lazy. Fuck the security guard who coming over here right now to grab me by my arm. Half the basketball team's shoes on the wrong feet. That's why y'all not making it to the championships. Cause y'all don't know how to put y'all's shoes on the right feet. Then the security grabbed my arm and he started walking me towards the door. He said, "It's okay. You're not in trouble." I heard somebody from the bleachers say, "Don't take her, I like her." The security guard said, "What's your name?" I said, "Amanda." He said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "'Cause my heart broke." He said, "Miss Amanda, we're gonna ask that you don't come back to this school." I said, "But I just got cheated on." He said, "You will not come in here and disrespect this school. You cannot come in here and do what you just did." I said, "But I just got cheated on." He held the door open for me. He said, "Just go. Don't want to see you back here." I said, the next day I was at my original school and my friend was like, "Oh, did you go surprise him?" I said, "Yeah, I went and I surprised him." She said, "How was it?" I said, "Oh, I only got to see a little bit of it. I had to leave early."